City volunteers in Germany provide hot food to flood-affected residents. A fifth grader takes his great-grandmother out with a tricycle to find friends. Welcome to Thai Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. In Germany, a serious flood has occurred in July, causing serious disasters in 2 states. Europe City volunteers have assessed damages in early August and started to provide hot food to the needy. They have rented a large dining car and provided hot food to affected residents and rescue workers in disaster areas. A month has passed since the flood occurred, but many disaster areas in Germany are still full of debris. The houses have collapsed and the streets are damaged. Many rescue workers are helping to restore the city to its former state, but it is difficult. City volunteers have assessed damages in early August and started disaster relief in mid-August. They ran a professional dining car. Before mid-September, they have been providing hot food. Embed must fall until mid-September.
Finally, we don't need to eat German sausages every day.
Every day, we are so busy that we cannot eat good food. Now that Tzu Chi is providing hot food here, I'm very grateful. The food is delicious and healthy. I'm very touched.
Like what the 2 civil engineers have pointed out, there's no water or electricity in the disaster area, and people cannot buy food or ingredients. As a result, affected residents and rescue workers have been eating salad or bread for more than a month. As Tzu Chi dining car has come, they can finally taste hot food.
Some people come, get the food every day. They even bring some food back for their families. We think it is very good. Seeing how they are eating joyfully, we also feel happy.
We feel good providing hot food to everyone. As currently, affected residents and rescue workers cannot cook food or eat hot food. This work is very meaningful. Seeing how they are smiling, I also feel very happy.
Since the disaster area is very big, volunteers not only provide food in Bad Mustafa, they also pack the hot food and deliver them to a nearby small town.
A man told me that he does not want to eat the food for free. He must make a donation. I said that we will use his donation to benefit the locals. He was so happy hearing that.
Currently, volunteers provide about 300 servings of hot food every day. Besides Chinese food, there's also food that's tailored to the local taste. They're all vegetarian food, as the volunteers hope that people can enjoy the benefits of vegetarianism and help fight against global warming. In Sri Lanka, Colombo City volunteers have conducted home visits near the office. Then they decided to distribute food to 496 families, helping about 1,500 people. The aid supplies include rice, flour, and beans. Due to the pandemic, the aid distribution lasted for 5 days. 6 people have packed 496 sets of aid supplies. After Colombo City volunteers visited nearby families, they decided to help residents affected by the pandemic.
We learned from the sharing that Tzu Chi is carrying out relief work in many countries in the world.
As volunteers explain Tzu Chi's spirit, the residents feel encouraged.
I knew about Tzu Chi many years ago. However, today I have learned from the volunteers sharing that Tzu Chi volunteers are carrying out humanitarian work in the world. I've decided that starting from today, I'll make donations and help other people.
After listening to the sharing, I'm certain that we are not people without abilities. We are capable of helping other people. This is the encouragement Tzu Chi gives us.
Due to the pandemic, only 13 people can stay indoors at one time. The distribution has lasted for 5 days. Since there are people who contracted the COVID virus, volunteers also deliver aid supplies to their homes. Recently, the number of COVID-confirmed cases in Kelantan, Malaysia exceeds 1,000 every day. As a result, many hospitals are facing shortage of oxygen generators. The University of Malaysia chapter has gathered 30 oxygen generators and sent them to the hospitals dedicated to treating COVID patients.
Variant viruses are ravaging the world. The daily numbers of confirmed cases in Malaysia has been hovering around 20,000 for nearly a month. The number of oxygen concentrators in the hospital can no longer support the increasing number of patients.
At this stage, we need oxygen supply, but there is a shortage of oxygen concentrators in the hospital. We can only give priority to the patients with less than 90% of blood oxygen level.
Healthcare workers are fighting against time to save lives. Kelantan Tzu Chi volunteers have obtained 30 oxygen concentrators from the Malaysia chapter, which are then distributed to the hospitals dedicated to treating COVID patients.
Breathing is vital in life. When this batch of oxygen concentrators arrived, we immediately sent these devices to the hospitals in need, hoping to save more lives.
I want to thank Master Zeng Yan and Tzu Chi Foundation in Taiwan for lending the oxygen concentrators to our hospital. It's very meaningful to us because it helps us treat the confirmed cases. Thank you, everyone.
Bermaknalah bagi pihak kami dalam perawatan pesakit-pesakit COVID-19. Terima kasih.
The superintendent was originally in a meeting. Because of our arrival, they put aside their work to welcome us. I'm quite touched.
Tzu Chi volunteers urgently supported the front line and also spread the source of goodness and love. Only by giving with gratitude can medical staff walk in the forefront with a peace of mind.
In Ontario, Canada, after the lockdown in March 2020, most citizens can only remain in their homes. A senior volunteer, Linda Liu, doesn't want to stop, although she's 70 years old. She utilizes video calls in order to join Tzu Chi Taiwan video conferences. She started to promote vegetarianism around the neighborhood.
This small garden is the garden of Tzu Chi volunteer Linda Liu. Her act of promoting vegetarianism starts here.
I planted chives, mustard, and other types. Sometimes I plant too many, so I will give those to my neighbors. I hope everyone can go vegetarian.
From the garden to the kitchen table, this is all done by Linda Liu's hand. In 2018, she was certified to become a Tzu Chi commissioner as she grabbed more chances to contribute and learn.
I really envy young people because they started to believe in Buddhism early on. I must learn from them since I joined Tzu Chi late.
At 3:30 in the afternoon, Linda Liu gets ready to join an online conference with Taiwan's Jingsi Abode. Using a phone, this is where she does morning prayers. From online book clubs to community services, Linda Liu is always there participating as her splendid chapter in life begins now.
During the 7th Lunar Month, the Tzu Chi University Laboratory Animal Center invites teachers and students from various laboratories to pray for small animals who have sacrificed their lives for research. They hope to teach students to be grateful for the contributions of small animals.
The 7th Lunar Month is an auspicious month in Buddhism. Tzu Chi University holds an online blessing ceremony to pray for the global pandemic to be eliminated and bless all sentient beings.
Since the history of mankind, a vaccine is developed in the shortest time. This took a lot of laboratory animals to complete preclinical animal experiments, so we have to be very grateful for the research and sacrifice.
The Tzu Chi University Laboratory Animal Center and various laboratories obey the 3R principles for animal research, including replacing them with different experimental methods instead of animal experiments, reducing the number of experimental animals, and refining experimental procedures to alleviate the pain of experimental animals.
When doing research related to heart disease, every time a heart is taken for experimentation, an animal will be sacrificed. So when I'm experimenting, I will be very grateful for the sacrifice of these animals.
We hope that all students can stick to the so-called 3R principles to make our experiments more successful and also reduce unnecessary animal sacrifices and reduce the number of animals used.
In the auspicious 7th month, praying for all the living beings and having a grateful mood and empathy to reduce the sacrifice of lab animals.
A young brother Chen in Zhanghua is studying in the 5th grade. He's raised by his great-grandmother who has mobility issues. He's filial and well-behaved. He's worried that his great-grandmother will be bored staying at home all day. Therefore, he takes her out with a tricycle every day to find her friends, hoping to make her happy. Let's join them there.
He helped his great-grandmother sit on the tricycle and then carefully fastened a special seatbelt for her.
Grandpa helped me make this. He said to use it as a seatbelt so it won't be dangerous.
Little brother Chen, who is studying in the 5th grade, rides a tricycle to carry his 84-year-old great-grandmother with mobility issues every afternoon. He takes her to the temple next to his home to chat with friends.
I just sit at home without any company, so I come out to take a look, which is much better than staying at home.
Because she always sits outside and looks around, I'm afraid that she will be bored. So I drive her out to come to the temple here to find her friends.
Coming from a single-parent family, little brother Chen was raised by his great-grandmother as his mother was busy with work. The two of them are still sleeping together and have a good relationship.
He takes good care of his great-grandmother and always brings her out to look around. He's very filial.
Little brother Chen is filial and well-behaved. When his grandfather goes fishing or do civil work, he will take the initiative to help. Being considerate, he even thinks of a more comfortable design for his great-grandmother to sit on the tricycle.
He said he would like to make a pedal. He took a board and asked me to install it for him, so I helped him with installation.
Little brother Chen's photo of driving his great-grandmother around has been circulated on Facebook. Some netizens worried about whether this was illegal or dangerous. However, brother Chen only rides in the village alleys with few vehicles and does not ride on the main road. The traffic team said there won't be any penalty. Yet, they still hope little brother Chen will pay attention to safety.
A couple in their 80s living in Zhanghua's Puxing Township are Tzu Chi recipients. Because the landlord wants to take back the house, the seniors don't know what to do. Fortunately, the village chief has helped them find a cheap new residence. However, it was abandoned for many years and needed to be cleaned up. Therefore, Tzu Chi volunteers spent a week cleaning, painting, and tidying up this new home for the elderly couple.
Bringing Grandpa and Grandma to their new home, the village chief officially hands over the keys to them.
Grandma, this is for you to live for 5 years. Later, I hope the owner will show some compassion and let you continue to stay here.
The couple are both over 80 years old. The landlord of the house they lived in before was unwilling to renew the rent. The village chief assisted in finding a new home, but had been abandoned for a long time and needed to be cleaned up. Volunteers tore down the old and dangerous wooden compartments in the home. The debris was also cleared away. Outdoor weeds and vines have also been removed. We bravely worked on this project, and our Tzu Chi brothers and sisters were responsible for the painting on the second floor. It took 3 days to complete the clearing and painting work. On the day when they entered the house was so lively. Volunteers put up Spring Festival couplet and also cooked glutinous rice balls. Volunteers gave their best wishes to this elderly couple.
You are so noble. Yes, you really are noble. Thank you very much.
Many bless this elderly couple as they move into a new environment so they can live in peace and comfort.
In Taichung Holy District, a care recipient, Mr. Zhang, was an electrician. However, he is unable to work after a minor stroke. The roof of his house collapsed due to a lack of maintenance. Therefore, the local borough chief requested repairs. Before the repairing process, city volunteers arrived to clean up the house.
Volunteers arrived at Taichung's Holy District, cleaning a house that is missing half a roof. At the scene, tiles fell from the top, covering the grounds. Due to the lack of a roof, weeds grew fast in the house.
It's been a while since this house was organized. It's very messy. Therefore, it's hard for others to begin renovation. We are here to clean the environment and build a sheet metal roof.
The owner of the house, Mr. Zhang, also helped out. He was originally an electrician, yet he was unable to work due to a minor stroke. As tools piled up in his house, including plastic tubes of different sizes, volunteers are here to organize. The weeds and dirt piled up in the house as volunteers clean up the environment thoroughly, sending away messiness and welcoming cleanliness.
We helped clean the space. Now it's much cleaner. I'm very happy about this.
After the environment is clean, one's heart will brighten up. With the help of volunteers, workers can finally begin the roof repairing process, allowing Mr. Zhang to move back to his home.
During the pandemic, impoverished children need to be taken care of. City volunteers in Kaohsiung went to school in Qishan district. They brought care packages to children and families affected by the pandemic. One of the volunteers has just been certified as city volunteer. She also serves at the school's lunch team.
Care packages are put onto the conveyor belt in order to speed up the packaging process. Truck full of care packages are brought out onto smaller vehicles. 5 kilograms of rice filled up each vehicle, as these supplies will be sent to different corners of mountainous regions. At Qisan's Yuanfu Junior High School, there are a total of 95 students and teachers, but half of the students' families are heavily impacted by the pandemic.
Thank you for bringing very nutritious food. You even brought books for our students. For us, we grew a lot both physically and mentally. We organized care packages and rice, delivering to the school in order to save children from starving in this month.
Supplies were also sent to Qisan Junior High School, as the newly certified Tzu Chi volunteer, Chen Shuzhen, felt emotionally moved.
I originally worked at a food provider, providing nutritious meals for schools. So we know that when students go on vacation early, they are at home at an earlier time. For mothers, they feel nervous because their children have to eat at home. I will pass your blessings and kindness to our students. I hope these students can care for others in the future.
During the pandemic, the care packages allow children to be more energetic. Volunteers hope to see students will become a giver in the future.
A youth online summer camp invites university and graduate students to tutor students through the internet. Although it is a companionship program launched in response to the pandemic, it has been a new way to build bonding. It is also special tutoring for students who typically lack the resources.
If you like water, then you will like me, because 70% of the human body is water.
Chen Keyo is like a Buddhist live broadcaster speaking to elementary school students in New Taipei, Nantou, and Yilan. He is doing this while sitting in a rental apartment in Jianghua.
以台湾的人口数来计算，一年将省下8395万公吨的水。大家知道这一句话要怎么算出来吗？
There is another tutor in this online class. When he teaches, Keyo shares these images with digital explanations in real time, making it easier for elementary school students to understand.
If there's only me in this online classroom, if I'm accidentally cut off from the internet, there's another person that can continue immediately, reducing the possibility of the children panicking.
There are 3 mornings in a week when Keyo gets up and uses his laptop to connect with 8 different places.
I
think it's a joy to be with them, just another person who cares.
10 years ago, when he was only an elementary school student, he started to take the bus to places with lots of people to sell lottery tickets. His mother traveled away from home because of work, and Keyo grew up almost alone. Fortunately, during important times, there were Tzu Chi volunteers to care for him.
Because Tzu Chi made my life worry-free, and it has also given me many mothers, my life has become more complete. If you have more little opportunities to connect with these lonely children, who are not usually accompanied by many people, this will give them more educational resources. Having more opportunities to accompany them also makes me feel happy.
Caring for young people not only takes place in Taiwan, but even British and Italian Tzu Jings are willing to help out.
We hope to stay in Taiwan and without jet lag after the start of school in September. These young online tutors can help students learn more. We hope that this flexibility will continue to allow us to accompany these disadvantaged people remotely.
Hu Weiguo studied at Suzhou University and majoring in Chinese and law. He returned to his hometown in Jianghua during the summer vacation to prepare for a national exam.
Although it's summer vacation now, I still hope that my living habits are similar to those still in school. That is, I study at home from 1 to 5 so that I don't take it easy over vacation every day.
Hello, 大家在吗？在。哦，好。
Before the weekend, a one-week book study project comes to an end. On Friday night, he switched from being a student to a teacher. He used the internet to accompany elementary school students and supplement them with additional teaching materials.
那今天就是要跟大家带来水资源这个议题，然后我们先给大家看2个影片。
For example, before I may have wanted to listen to an English word, but I couldn't do it without a computer, and I didn't have a mobile phone at the time, so it would be difficult to practice English.
The digital resources that were lacking in the past have now become a nutrient that he cherishes now.
Now that we are talking about the reservoirs, I would like to introduce to you, by the way, that Taiwan has a statistical data website called Look at Taiwan with Data. When it comes to teaching junior high school students, I hope to give them different online resources. I didn't know when he was an online teacher. I haven't seen it. This is the first time I see it. It's good that he is giving back to society.
1两对于这个问题有什么觉得隐含的成本吗？
金钱很贵。
回答得很好。
Accompanying these online students is manifestation of this young person's willingness to give. This is a side that his parents have never seen before, and it is also a surprise and very comforting for them.
那我的介绍就到这一边结束，那接下来我们就换知文来介绍下一份 PPT。
In Taiwan, more than 40 Tzu Chi volunteers pack Mid-Autumn Festival gifts in Xingdian Jingsi Hall, which come with their best wishes. In one morning, they were able to pack 870 gifts. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.